It's just to the rider to what the chairman said last. Can you recollect if NNPC was operating this particular account before this deposit came in? Let's make it interactive.
I honestly would like to say that I am not very sure of that, because what we did, based on inquiry, was to go back to the statement of account. We see the account started, in January 2012. There was no transaction prior to that time. So there was no transaction prior to that. The NNPC could have maintained the other accounts. They could have, but for this particular account, it came into being January. And like I said, the first deposit there was a sum of $30 million.
Make my observation, the chairman will rule on that. I just want to know, and don't forget, I'm sorry, sir, you're on oath. The question again, was NNPC operating this account before this deposit entered that account? Yes or no?
And I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I won't be able to answer except I investigate. And I've said, I wasn't there then. Okay, based on what we inherited.
I'm okay with that. Off that mic, Mr. Chairman, something on nothing. The foundation to be laid here is whether NNPC was operating that account before this, because if you are not operating an account, how would this chunk of money just enter such an account? I'm taking you up on this because you have just told us and trying to defend NNPC that the money just came for you to have to kind of to transact business. And I'm sorry, something you weren't aware of, and then you are defending. That's why I'm taking you up on that. That's number one question, sir. And I'm glad you have said you are still coming back to give us answer to that. Mr. Chairman, we need to know with certainty if this account was under operational before, that is prior to this deposit. Otherwise, we assume that it was a sludge fund deposited into that bank's account. That's no, you have said it, sir. You have answered me. You said you don't know, so just come.
Honorable Ben, you have a question?
I'm not done. Mr.
Oh, okay.
I'm not done, Mr. Chairman. Okay. Now, between 2012 and 2021, this committee wrote to you 2 weeks ago. Am I right with that, sir? And you paid this balance only on the 16th of June 2021. Do you want me to assume that if this committee did not write to you, you would not have paid off this balance?
I want to state for this, we did not pay the balance of $527,000 because the committee wrote. We had about 220-something million we're talking about, and we paid and continued to pay, and we paid $32 million, which was still outstanding. Because it was also a programmed payment, there was an agreement to pay $10 million on a monthly basis. We knew we were still within the time agreed. We did not pay because the committee wrote. We paid because we knew we had a commitment to pay.
Last question. This loan was given to whether another company, organization, or an individual. Are you aware of the kind of business the money was used for? That's one part of the question. The second leg is that what security, assuming Polaris did not take over Skybank, and what form of security did you meet on ground that covered this chunk of money deposited and loaned out by NNPC? Thank you.
The companies that were given foreign currency loan were companies largely in two sectors of the economy. One was the upstream oil and gas, and 2 was the power sector. You will recall, Mr. Chairman and committee members, that part of the government effort to try to boost electricity generation in the country was, and drive economic activity in the economy, was encouraging banks to fund activities in that sector.
Okay.
And in terms of
oil and gas for
both oil and gas and
where you channel the funds from?
yes.
Definitely, as a bank, there is no how there won't be any form of security.
Yes,
I'm now asking. That's why I said the second leg. Mr. Chairman, the 2 assertions to be presented by the MD, they will have to present them officially to the committee. Number 1 is what the money was used to fund, and he said it was oil and gas and electricity. So we want to know the beneficiaries and how they spent it. Then the second leg is, as at the time they got this loan, this facility, what security was put in place by the bank? At least this is a public fund. If it's not, it wasn't MD's fund. If it were to be MD's fund, we probably won't ask you. But it's your fund, is my fund, is Nigerian's fund. So we want to know, okay, so what security? Tell us, sir.
And accurate. The facilities were secured with various, some have legal mortgage as well as the assets financed. So from account to account or from facility to facility, they have different collateral arrangements. So we will go through the records and provide the names and as well as the amount and the collateral that were provided.
Mr. Chairman, I want you to rule on that. Or if you want me to move it as a motion.
There could be other related issues and that before we roll.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The matter concerning Nexim Bank has to do with money that the bank gave to some people, and when the panel was set up, the Nexim Bank came to the panel to inform the panel that they are having issues in recovering those funds from the people they gave the money. And immediately the panel started investigating the complaint and funds were recovered. So, but for me, it is for the Nexim Bank to tell us the amount of money because the money goes to them. The panel's work is just to ensure, to bring the suspects and ask them that the money should be paid. So it is Nexim Bank that will tell us the amount of money. Because even after the removal of the panel members, most of these people are still paying because they've already made commitments to pay. So it is only Nexim Bank that can tell us the exact amount that they have recovered from that process. Because most of them they are all case files where these people made commitments. And that money has been, the people keep paying the money to Nexim Bank. So Nexim Bank is in position to tell us the exact amount.
Where is this case file now?
Yes, I said before, Chairman, that the file is with the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation. The file is there. That file will speak to this whole thing and even all the names of the people that are involved, all the companies that was giving this money. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Has adopted this response, and my dearest brother here, Mr. Jalmo, is still suggesting and giving us some other assignments to get the case file as to what we have to do. It would have been so nice if you had gotten all these facts up. They were all presented before us. In the light of that, because this is a committee, especially the members, I know how busy everybody is here. I want to move, except if other members has any other member has anything to say, that we step this one down until Mr. Jomo has more facts.
Mr. Chairman, I so second this motion.
Well, the motion has been seconded.
I so second the motion. I do not have the right to say it because I seconded. Unless we rescind the motion.
No, that's a procedure. So you have to ask for the motion to be rescinded. Can you ask for it to be rescinded. Ask for rescinding first, then it will be done.
It is only the mover of the motion that can rescind it.
Can you please rescind your motion?
Okay.
Lastly?
In the interest of peace, and of course,
Peace of the country.
and Mr. Chairman, I move again to rescind the motion earlier pending when my honorable colleague,
Motion already seconded.
Robert, makes his submission. I will still want to come back to my motion. Thank you.
So,
Address Mr. Ojomo. And I think this is very important for us. This committee is set out to find looted funds, where they have been kept and what has been done with them. This matter is matter of bank debts that have not been recovered. How do we relate those two? You have to give us evidence that these monies were proven to have been stolen or taken wrongfully from the bank and have not been returned. If there are monies that were borrowed by the bank, it is a matter for recovery, not for this committee. That will help us, Chairman. That's my submission.
thank you. No. Mr. Ojomo wrote a petition and made allegations in public. It would be unfair if we do not at least address that petition. Otherwise, it will look like we have swept it under the carpet, and that was the reason we asked Nexim Bank to come. Before we do it, since Nexim Bank is here, let them state their own fact. They've already adopted the document. Let them state it, and then we'll move our motion and move on. Thank you.
Explain what has been termed a petition. I don't think it's a petition, but I think it's just a report that they gave. Why do I say that is, we in Nexim Bank, the management today, took over in April of 2017, May of 2017. And when we came, as correctly stated from the table there, is we met some bad debts, which have aged. We, for about a year, tried to do normal recovery of those facilities, but some of them were proven to be very tough, given that from the beginning, some of the loans were not properly packaged as would be in normal banking practice. So we invited the Special Investigation Panel to assist us. Correct, as the representative of SPIP said, they swung into action by approval. Yes, please.
The question is, did you have anything to do with the covered loot?
Yeah, loot. No, not loot, but it's in the ordinary business of the bank.
It is the ordinary business of
Ordinary business of the bank, loans that were given and were not recovered.
So it is not the scope of this committee to deal with business of banking and your daily transactions. Thank you.
Government, who are heading most of these MDAs, are doing that on our behalf. And that we have been charged with the responsibility of pursuing taxpayers' money does not warrant unnecessarily wasting the time of those who have asked to go and discharge their responsibilities to build the revenue of this country, to increase the GDP of this country, to build the economy of this country, to build this nation. Therefore, we should always be thorough when handling issues that seems to indict these people in the course of doing their job. Frivolous issues should not be presented to the House.
Honorable Kalu.
It will amount to wasting of time.
Let's leave that. We are doing the right thing, a chance to respond. The point is, if we had not invited Nexim, this has been reported by the press, and we needed to give them an opportunity to defend themselves. So they've come here now, the petitioner is here, Nexim is here, and we've been able to prove that they had nothing to do with recovered loot, with the proceeds of crime. That's the most thing. The most important thing now is that, you know, sometimes when you're looking for something, a no is an answer. You don't have to find a yes, you can find a no. And what we found out now is that we really do not have any business with Nexim, and they've been given an opportunity to clear their name. I think it's even in the interest of Nexim that they have this opportunity. Is that not true? Thank you very much. Can somebody move?
Okay,
Yes, can somebody
okay,
go back to the
Mr. Chairman, moving the motion. Nexim should be aware that if there is any cause, any reason to have evidence or documents before the committee suggesting, alleging that you have something to answer about looted or recovered or proceeds of crime, you surely be still invited by this committee. So, in the light of that, Mr. Chairman, may I move that Nexim is discharged, not acquitted. If you have any cause to invite them again, we surely do. I so move, Mr. Chairman, sir.
Mr. Chairman,
And that, the issue for which they were invited is before a court. And since we have no reason dealing with issues before the court, we'll put this aside for the time being. Thank you. Can somebody please move for adjournment?
It's my name. I move that the meeting and the committee adjourn this Synod. I so move,
Mr. Chairman, I so
as moved by Honorable Isiaka, that they be so discharged, but not acquitted.
Thank you.
Thank you.